Ever wonder how Rome built an empire that lasted 1,000 years? It wasn't just legions and leaders. It was built on a foundation of cold, hard cash and some brilliant and brutal financial rules. Today, we're diving into the 5 money rules that forged the Roman Empire. First up, the rule of sound metal. Trust the denarius, not the man. Imagine a world with hundreds of different currencies. Chaos, right? Rome's genius was standardization. They created the denarius, a high-purity silver coin that became the dollar of the ancient world. Its value wasn't based on the emperor's face, but on the real, tangible silver inside. It created a universal language of trade from Egypt to Spain. The moment emperors started secretly mixing in cheaper metals, they weren't just debasing the coin, they were debasing the trust that held the entire empire together. The rule was simple. The state's promise must be as real as the metal in your hand. Rule number 2, taxes buy civilization, but conquest pays for it. Rome understood that roads, aqueducts, and law courts weren't free. They levied taxes, sure, but the real secret sauce was war finance. Conquest wasn't just about glory, it was the ultimate economic stimulus package. A successful war meant a massive influx of gold, silver, and new territories to tax. This loot paid for the legions to go out and conquer again, and it funded the magnificent public works that kept the citizens happy back home. It was a self-funding cycle of expansion, where success literally paid for itself. This leads us to Rule 3. Bread and circuses are a national security expense. The Roman elite learned a hard lesson early on. A hungry mob is a dangerous mob. Their solution? The annona, a state-subsidized grain supply for the urban poor. Providing cheap, and later free, food wasn't charity. It was a calculated political investment. It stopped riots, maintained social order, and allowed the rich and powerful to run the empire without fear of revolution. It was the cost of doing business, buying the stability needed for the entire system to function. Rule 4 is a masterclass in efficiency. Let private money build public works. How did Rome build all that incredible infrastructure? Not always with state funds. Instead, they perfected the public-private partnership. The state would auction off the right to build a new aqueduct or bridge. Wealthy individuals or companies would bid, footing the bill for construction. In return, they'd get the lucrative right to collect tolls or taxes for a set period. This harnessed private ambition for public good, building a legendary empire without the state having to front all the cash. Finally, the 5th and most dangerous rule. The emperor's purse is the state's purse. In theory, the state treasury and the emperor's personal wealth were separate. In practice, especially as the empire grew, that line blurred into non-existence. The emperor's personal fortune, swelled by confiscated estates and revenues from his private provinces, became a shadow state budget. This gave him absolute power to fund his own projects, reward his friends, and bypass the Senate entirely. It centralized financial control to a terrifying degree, tying the fate of the entire economy to the whims of just one man. These 5 rules reveal Rome's financial genius and its fatal flaws. They built a global economy on solid money and ambitious systems, but their dependence on constant conquest, political handouts, and unchecked power planted the very seeds of their eventual downfall. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into history. See you in the next video.